GuangdongTigers, ni hao, ni hao. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Blake RT. We're here with locally hated versus GuangdongTigers, ESEA season 53 advanced, round number 12. I believe this is 13, something like that. We've lost track at this point. Truck has informed. Well, Truck, are you still muted or no? Are you push talk or what's okay? Truck is still muted. But Truck has informed me that this is going to be round 12 for us. And we are going straight into this one. Locally hated taking that CT side of Nuke. Locally hated have been pretty strong on these Nuke showings recently. They haven't been beating the first round throwing first half throwing allegations, but the second round or the second half always has promise. Looks like smoke on the side of AGB here. Fast nade coming out. Looks like a fast squeaky push coming out from GuangdongTigers. They're gonna go ahead and take contact with Zera and Jezza. Jezza gets one, but Zera unable to find anything. Saber's kind of popping shots with the dualies up top, but Relt is able to pick up the dualies on him and just completely take the heads off of locally hated. Saber opting to pick up that USP. Able to pick one up onto AGB, now pushing out, but will he be ready for that flank coming around Heaven? I don't think he will. Supa's able to come up the rafters behind him, pick up the frag, and GuangdongTigers taking a strong round number 1 pistol. Supa's already picking up that AK, so is Relt. Very early, not force, but they're prioritizing the AKs very early, which is what you want to see. But the question now becomes, will they be able to hold off the forces of locally hated long enough to keep the AKs? Looks like we have a 3-man upper play from locally hated. Kind of just shift walking towards Hut and Squeaky. Jez is going to drop down, break that, or open the door rather. All 5 members of locally hated now in lobby, not going to spot anything. You're going to see that range smoke. Hear one player going towards Heaven. But Luca's gone ahead and made his way down secret. Cool Games is just chilling on top of T-Roof, dropping a molly down, preventing any flank coming in from the outside players. But Jezza just goes down to Luca, sees the barrel, but not able to react in time. Zera goes down backside with a pistol, and Cool Games picks up his too. And GuangdongTigers pick up that second round, kind of expected, with locally hated being on pistols and GuangdongTigers being on MAC-10s AKs. Solid buy coming in from locally hated. Now we have 2 M4s so far. 3 M4s, there it is. Op in Saber's hand really early. Looks like they're going to go ahead and try to prioritize that. He is the glass cannon here, no armor, just the op in hand. Looks like some early contesting util coming out from outside. Saber's going to go ahead and post up on this ramp peak, but it's looking like he might catch someone. Supa able to get one, but Luca takes off Saber's head, and GuangdongTigers are going to go ahead and accelerate through the ramp. Alex able to pick up one, looking for second, gets the dink off, but can't find the actual kill. Luca's going to continue this pace downstairs. Jez is now cautious about this J-Hall flank. Doesn't look like it will actually come in, but as I say that, Luca and Cool Games starting to rotate towards Hell. Sarah picks up a kill on the AGB outside. Now locally hated are completely aware of this J-Hall presence, but GuangdongTigers are aware that locally hated is aware. Jez is clearing that lobby control. Just missed the timing on that late ramp player in Relt. Smoke single's going to come out. Luca taking that space, going to break the radio glass, and GuangdongTigers are slowly figuring out they have this site all to themselves. Locally hated look like they're going to opt for a save here. Yep, going to go ahead and run into CT spawn, cut the losses, and opt to take the rifles into the next round, which isn't a bad call. I think if they knew that Luca was 18 HP, the call might have been a little bit different, but even then, with the crossfires that are possible on that B nuke, or B side of nuke, probably not too smart. Yo, shout out the Truck for these fucking camera angles. I have never seen this shit before. I didn't even know this was... What the hell? GuangdongTigers are going to go ahead and pick up that round 3. Locally hated able to take 2 rifles and, I believe, full armor into the next round. But as for what the rest of locally hated are going to do, that is the new question they have to figure out. Looks like MP9 going to get dropped down to Alec. Saber's going to pick up the MP9 as well. Ethix might opt to go pistol nades here. That is something we see him frequent a lot. But GuangdongTigers, even with AGB being best friends with Owen, still putting on a strong performance. Supa now has that op in hand. Looking to take that outside aggression very early, but Zera's also looking to contest that right back coming up secret with the M4. Molly comes down secret, flashes come out outside. They're going to go ahead and cross outside towards Big Garage. Zera's actually going to hear all of this. But will he be ready for more? Zera's able to pick up one on a Luca. Going to go ahead and give up that space as he is 1 HP, but AGB has made it towards lockers. Alec looks ready for this push, but doesn't want to give him the timing. Alec is tucked in close, gets his frag on AGB, and now locally hated are in a positive position in this round. 3 on 5. Alec is spotted on the jiggle, goes down to Relt. But Relt is also dropped down to 20 HP. Locally hated, like we said, are in a very strong position for the first time in this game. But GuangdongTigers are going to be patient about this, kind of work their way up heaven, and try to outmaneuver locally hated, not having any information. Bomb's going to go ahead and get dropped to Supa. Smoke, I believe that was supposed to be Hut, but ends up being mid-sight, comes out. Ethex kind of wanting to peek out of Hut. Finally ends up doing it. Running outside, Ethex spams with the 5-7, not able to find anything. Jezza picks up the backside kill, and now Ethex and Zera in a 1v2. Relt is heaven with 1 HP, has a flashbang on his belt. But locally hated have a kit. This is going to get a little bit confusing. Relt's going to go ahead and pop that flash in. Zera's not peeking behind it. Ethex is going to go ahead and stick this bomb. Relt picks up one under Zera, but now Ethex is looking to get away with his life. Keeps the kit, keeps the armor. Now looking for any extra over peaks, but oh my god, gets Relt even lower than he already was. And locally hated are finally able to pick up their first round. We're going to go ahead and buy right back into this. Saber picking up that op as we saw round 2. But GuangdongTigers still with a solid amount of money stacked up in the bank. Going to be able to buy right back as well. Looks like early outside smokes coming in from GuangdongTigers. They're only sending what looks to be 1 player outside with it. So he's going to take a couple ticks of this molly. Here the cross smokes come in. Looking for a boom of a nade onto Luca. Zera picks up his kill onto Supa through the smoke. Renade break comes in, but Zera's not ready for this top mini player. AGB can't hit the spray, and what a weird exchange. AGB was looking right at him, and Zera was right above his screen. Mini smoke comes in from AGB. Saber able to pick up the frag on AGB, making him get real familiar with someone we know as Owen around here. GuangdongTigers are starting to stack up around this A site. Cool Games is, you know, trying to peek out of Hut, but Jezza's just on that door watch. GuangdongTigers going to go ahead and smoke mini. Molly out Asian. Ethex is going to be forced to peek. Luca picks up the headshot onto Ethex. Now starting to scale up sight, but going to opt to drop vent. 1, 2, 3. They're all down vent. Zera's looking to chase fast, but Alec is already on the B site. So this might not be even necessary for Zera to go down fast. The trigger discipline on Alec. Gets one. Looking for more, but can't find the kill on Cool Games. Cool Games now going to plant this bomb while the rotates come in. Zera can't find anything on the rotate down vent. But Luca is expecting another one from Jezza. Jezza able to pick up the kill. Not wanting to rush things. Knows he's close, as he did close that door. But Jezza just going to kind of wait for Saber, but Cool Games picks up 1 on the Saber, and Cool Games picks up 3 in the round, clutching round number 4 for GuangdongTigers. It was a very unfortunate kind of series of events from locally hated. Jezza opted to take that first contact, allowing Cool Games to kind of get that frag and then back right up, back behind Silo. And just like that, Locally Hated are back on an eco. Upgraded pistols and a scout on Saber. Looking for any jump spots coming in, but Saber just misses the timing, but actually able to get a frag, or not a frag, but some damage onto Supa. Needs to come over. Credit card. Saber able to dodge the Brent end of it, but is going to be aware that multiple players can be down secret. Jezza is now set up close with Zera. Zera goes down. Jezza can't find anything. Luca and Relt get their trade frags and now are starting to take secret, but decide to cut noise and come back up. Ethex being a little bit loud on his rotation to Mini is going to be heard by the player on top of him. AGB is going to go ahead and drop the smoke front Mini. Flash over yard. And now GuangdongTigers are kind of in a standstill. Kind of seeing if Locally Hated are going to over-aggress, try and catch them out on a faulty site stack. Break comes in, fake utility on the A site from Cool Games, but Alec picks up one with the Deagle, gets traded out instantly by Relt. Relt is on 20 HP. If Cool Games goes down here, this retake looks very winnable, but even if it isn't, all members of GuangdongTigers were dropped to low HP. AGB finally able to get on the board in this game. And GuangdongTigers putting up 5 on the board in this half. Saber opting to pick up the op again. We have a kit and half armor on Jezza. Other kit is going to be on Ethex. Really aggressive angle coming from Saber, leaving him self-exposed to top Mini, but wants to get that peek over these smokes. Knows that information is crucial. Looks like Jezza took a little bit of contact, was able to get some damage onto Relt. But AGB just looking around Marshmallow, able to get some tags out onto Zera, but not able to actually find a kill. GuangdongTigers are kind of playing a really patient round here. Looking to see if any members of Locally Hated are overextending. Gonna go ahead and make their exit out of lobby. Leave Luca in there to maybe fake that A hit. Or even start the A execute. Late cross smokes dropped. Sarah and Alec gonna go ahead and make their way down secret, or down ramp rather, into secret. But Saber just missing the cross on the smoke because they're hugging that smoke. Not gonna spawn anything on the way down. Looking for the shot as the smoke fades. Can't see it, can't find it. Luca's now looking for this late activation lurk. Molly comes in vents. Locally Hated are now gonna hear a majority of the members of GuangdongTigers coming into the B site. Alex good for one on the Relt. Has given enough time for Zera to get in a crossfire spot. Alec picks up his second. Sarah picks up his as well. Supa able to pick up one with the op. Just the trade Zera does. Luca now looking for his 1v3. Able to get the first on the Jezza, but Ethex able to pick up the final frag. Closing out round number 2 for Locally Hated. Just what we want to see. Able to put some more numbers on the board. Stock up some economy, but any economy saved right now is going to go to the teammates. Looks like strong showings from GuangdongTigers. Pretty similar ADR across the board. Ethex a little bit lacking on the Locally Hated side, but he has been the main utility thrower and kind of information player. Ethex with that M4 playing top heaven. Looking to give Saber freedom to work outside. Actually, Saber isn't outside. Jezza now on top of Tetris. Almost gets his head taken off by Supa. Flash is going to come over. Supa makes his way down vent, but Locally Hated might be completely unaware of this. Supa has made it down vent, is starting to work his way past double door. He's going to know that once he gets to the radio room that he's going to have to make noise to make any advancements. Supa's now just waiting for this vent drop, rather. GB and Relt and Cool Games going to go ahead and cross down secret. But will they be ready for Supa here down bottom vent? He's going to go ahead and give up the angle. His teammates are going to pick it up. Luca's going to slow walk out of Squeaky Door, looking to find any rotates. Luca with his back to now walking out of sight. Finds one onto Efex. Gets traded out by Jezza. Gonna go ahead and hear the utility coming out. Grab that AK, and let's see if Locally Hated even decide to go for this. They are pretty far away from the bomb site. Do see Jezza making his way towards secret. But I don't think there's going to be any actual commit coming out of Locally Hated. I think they're just kind of going to go ahead and play for exits. You can see Zera starting to head towards CT spawn, as well as Alec heading towards T spawn. And honestly, with the state of economy that Locally Hated are in, I don't mind this call. They are kind of in the same money situation as GuangdongTigers, but considering they have 4 people alive, the op and 2 AKs and an M4, they're going to go ahead and just, like I said, cut their losses, save the game, or save the guns, so that way they can have somewhat of a full buy next round. Saber's able to take an AK out of AGB's hands late. And like I said, we're Hated able to finally, or not finally, but able to get a full buy across the board because of that save. Gonna see a glaive smoke coming out from Saber. Gonna go get... Wow! AGB takes off the head of Saber on the cross smoke. Relt's gonna go ahead and throw a nade, get some damage taken onto him, but Sarah, as he gets aggressive, gets traded out by AGB. Supa's now just taking all the space he can. Picks up his second into the round. Next trades him out. Gonna go ahead and drop into hut. Here's the player coming out. Squeaky Door. But now Efex is in a 1v4, very tight situation. Gets tagged down to 1 HP, but Efex is able to pick up a frag onto the one of the low HP players of GuangdongTigers. But as Efex looks for more, he is going to get picked up by Cool Games, and GuangdongTigers are going to put 7 on the board. We hit it on the max loss bonus. Are going to, I assume, try and force out here. See glass cannon coming out in the hands of Saber. MP9 on Efex. And only 1 kit on the belt of Jezza. GuangdongTigers looking to gear up and take this ramp aggression. Flash hut comes out. Alec picks up 1 through the barrier. Gonna go ahead and drop that smoke. As Saber comes to pick up the angle, but just misses the first player. Actually able to pick up Cool Games. So aware of AGB on the flank, or the possibility of him being on the flank, but just misses the timing on the check. AGB is about to walk all the way through Big Garage and pick up Saber on this flank. Saber is completely unaware of this. But the timing might not work in his favor. It actually is. AGB is going to spot Saber. This trigger discipline is just kind of holding him here, but Saber might have a chance of turning around. Saber is just poised on this angle. Oh my god! Saber turns around. AGB picks him up. AGB is going to go ahead and take this space up top heaven. Zera's good for 1 onto AGB. Now looking for a second. Able to pick up 2. Gets the second onto Relt. Zera's now all alone on site. Efex Vent trying to back him up, and Zera's good for 3. Locally Hated, picking up round number 3. Even though locally hated were able to pick up that round, it was pretty costly, as you can see. MP9s and armor on the side of GESEA and ETHEX both. But that doesn't mean the money on the side of GuangdongTigers is any better. Relt just with a Tech 9 and a couple nades. Outside smokes have been thrown. AGB's kind of looking for any outside presence from locally hated. AGB gonna go ahead and take this space, but GESEA must have heard him. GESEA able to pick up the easy frag on AGB. Sarah's hitting Tetris. Watching this smoke. Nade break's gonna come on the smoke, so is the Molly Asian. Spams are also gonna come in, but no peeks are gonna be made by GuangdongTigers, and they're gonna go ahead and rotate what I thought was gonna be ramp, but they're just gonna kind of sit patiently in lobby, wait for any over-aggression. One drop down vent. Sarah's kind of holding off on this peak, but able to pick up the last player. GESEA picks up 2. Relt picks up 1 with the Galil rather. Now has AK in hand, as well as the bomb on his belt. Alec is already down to the B site. And now Relt is in a 1v4. Looking for any openings. Any overextensions from locally hated. Now peeking out of radio room. Might be able to find something of an overextension, but now making his way back out. Locally hated not giving any breathing room to GuangdongTigers that round. GESEA was set up perfectly at the bottom of vents.
Counter-terrorists win.
Relt now might catch Saber, but time just running out. Relt able to take AK and his belt of utility into the next round. GuangdongTigers going to go ahead and take a timeout, discuss how they want to approach this last round with the mixed economy they do have. Timeout coming to a close. GuangdongTigers on this last round opting to buy everything they can, maximizing every dollar they have in that bank account. You can see Tech 9 armor and full utility on Supa. It looks like we might have a straight AXQ, glasses being broken early. Outside smokes are coming in. GuangdongTigers kind of playing it patiently in lobby, waiting for any of her extensions like they did last round. Sarah's going to go ahead and make his way down the vent. Try to find AGB lurking through like he has been the past couple rounds, but no lurk is actually coming through. Squeaky resmoke comes in. GuangdongTigers still just trying to test the patience of locally hated. Looks like outside smoke's coming in again. And this might be the cue of GuangdongTigers to try and hit this A site. They're going to let AGB and Luca walk close to these outside smokes, and then they should walk straight into Mini. A site utilities coming in. Relt taking this first contact, takes a shot from his teammate, gets one onto ETHEX, one more has made it out to site. GESEA able to pick up one onto Relt. Cool Games picks up a trade. Alec good for one onto Cool Games. AGB good for one onto Alec. Saber and Zera now in a close 2v2 now. Zera looking for Luca, able to pick him up, and Supa and Zera in a 1v1. Zera can't find the shot. Supa picks up the last frag, and GuangdongTigers closing out the first half 8-4. I'm calling Supa. how do you actually... I'm not sure how you actually pronounce his name. I'm assuming it's Supasmo. But the way I've been saying it reminds me of Super Hot Fire. I'm not a rapper. Locally hated opting for full armor, except on the side of Jezza, who's going to go ahead and buy smoke, flash, and HE. Nade's going to come in squeaky, but locally hated are going to go ahead and rush this B site. Double door smoke coming in, but Supa is already here with the dualies. Ethex picks up one onto Luca, Zera picks up another onto Supa, and now Cool Games is looking for any hyper extensions. Grelt is there to kind of cover his back. Saber's jiggling for this ramp peak. Cool Games seems to be aware that there is one stuck emo. But Saber is going to be the piece of bait here. AGB goes down to Jezza. Ethex picks up Relt, and now Cool Games is in a 1v5. Looking very unwinnable, but we have seen some crazier situations. He picks up the first onto Alec. He can't get the defuse now. He's looking for kills only, able to pick up the second onto Ethex, but Jezza gets the trade, and locally hated, able to pick up round number 5. Jezza going to go ahead and invest in that AK early, as the rest of his team is looking for glows and MAC-10s. They're also looking to pick up an AK. This has been a point of contention we've seen from locally hated is these second round buys. Ethex looking to jump spot around, find any information. Spots Supa on that outside jump. Reld has taken a very aggressive position in the hut, which will kind of let him clear after this util has gone. It might give them the full information that this is a complete outside play. Reld and Luca are starting to walk in a lobby, but AGV is crawling around the smoke outside. Alec picks up one. Finds Supa. Supa finds him, actually. But the rest of locally hated are taking this outside. AGB looking for any damage on the players crossing. Gonna hear Ethex. Has slipped into the credit card. Ethex knows he's still there. Able to get a tag. AGB dropped to 15 HP. Saber gets taken, or takes the head off of Cool Games. Zera takes out AGB, and Jezza takes out Relt. Supin is in a 1v4 with the MP9. We've seen him be effective with this MP9, but now going for the wide swing. Able to pick up one. Able to pick up the second, but ends up getting traded out by Zera, and locally hated are able to pick up 6 in this half. Or 6 in the game, rather. It'll be interesting to see how GuangdongTigers are going to buy back into this round, if at all. The second round force back is kind of expensive, especially on the CT side. Looks like we just have upgraded pistols. Side of GuangdongTigers. Well, I'm assuming is going to save for this op. AGB, wow, picks up a crazy headshot onto Ethex outside, and now they're going to go ahead and fall off that boost, give that space, because locally hated have to be aware of that boost and the 2 players outside now. Outside smokes are coming in, but Supa has made his way up to roof, but Alec is completely ready for him. Picks up the easy frag on an unaware Supa. AGV just kind of watching these outside smokes. Luca's made his way through secret. Might try to catch a member or 2 of locally hated off guard. This requires Jezza and Zera to clear the deep corner. Jezza looking to make this first contact, but he is going to clear it. Luca takes off the head of Jezza. Zera able to get the trade. GuangdongTigers starting to react to that kill. Relt's already on this site with a USP. Alec has made it down the vent. Flashbang coming out. Sorry, smoke. Alec gets a nice headshot onto Relt, but AGB is now in a 1v3 with the Deagle. Trying to pick up any damage. Double mollies come in, and Alec takes off the head. Alec good for 4 that round. Very strong showing. Very patient in lobby. And able to capitalize on all the timings coming his way. Locally Hated looking really strong at the start of this second half. Glasses getting broken on that A site. Looks like a fast door smoke coming in. Nade comes in. Supa's ready for with the op though. Gonna go ahead and just fire the op behind that nade. Looking for a spam through the smoke. Supa's not able to find anything, but gets spammed down himself. Cross smokes are coming out. Second one is a little bit late. Break comes in. Efex gets spotted on the cross. Tag down to 20 HP. So, GuangdongTigers still now technically in the advantage of this round. Supa's gonna take a shot, ramp. Take some damage of his own. Alec doesn't get shot at all by AGB on the walkout and is able to find AGB easily. Now looking for more. Alec goes down to Relt. Zera picks up Relt, but Luca picks up Jezza. Now Zera is alone on the site, trying to make something happen. Ethex is now stuck in a 1v3 against 2 half HP players of GuangdongTigers and 1 full HP Cool Games. He's now looking for the timing, but can't hit the spray onto Supa, and GuangdongTigers picking up their 9th round. Very, you know, like pace controlling round from GuangdongTigers, able to slow down Locally Hated enough to disrupt the whole strategy of that round. The nade break outside onto the cross smokes, able to catch some damage onto Ethex was, you know, pretty much picture perfect, bearing the fact that they didn't get the kill. It's like standard utility coming out. Door smoke plus the door nade. I believe the molly from the CTs did miss. Games is often to take a very aggressive position in a trophy. I'm not sure if he's taken that prior to this. But Supa is also on top of the box, ready for this peek, but just as Alec looks like he's going to peek it, Supa drops off, pops a flash in, going to go ahead and deter Alec from ever actually peeking into it, but if there's anyone that's going to hit this crazy of an angle shot, it is going to be Supa. Now, all 5 members of Locally Hated are gearing up towards ramp. Alec is going to might take this first contact ramp with the op. He made it through the door, going to go ahead and take the shot. They now know Cool Games is close. Cool Games picks up 2, Supa picks up 1. Supa going to go ahead and drop that molly. Efex looking to go through it. Doesn't get the spam. Supa's good for 3 in the round. Cool Games good for 2. And GuangdongTigers move on to 10 rounds, 1. And that was what a strong crossfire coming out from GuangdongTigers. Cool Games playing close to the door, and Supa on one hell of an angle on top of the box's ramp. Locally Hated now on a pistol buy, trying to make something happen. Gonna go ahead and throw them outside smokes. Try to work the Deagle. Deagle and the P250. Big boom. Boom! Onto Ethex. Supa picks up another one with the op onto Alec. Flash comes over. AGB trying to find a spam, but on the reload, Locally Hated are now going to cross. AGB has already made his way down the vent, though. Going to go ahead and drop a smoke down secret. If I know Locally Hated well enough, they're going to go ahead and go through this one. Saber's going to take this first contact. Not able to find the kill. Jezza looking for the trade. Can't find it. Jezza's kind of running down. AGB now. AGB now running down the bomb planter. Bomb goes down. This is looking sketchy. Zera picks up... No, AGB's just on fire with the USP. Picks up 2 headshots. Picks up the kill onto Jezza and makes it look pretty easy. GuangdongTigers now picking up round 11. If Locally Hated want to have any chance at a comeback, they're going to have to start it now. Locally Hated able to finally get another buy. Standard utility, except minus the door smoke. Soup is just holding the squeaky door. Locally Hated not gonna give him the peek, but he's gonna go ahead and look for it himself. He's made his way into the squeaky door, slowly clearing. There's not a person holding back hut, so that gives the clear to the hut players to go ahead and push in. They go ahead and find Alec getting a little over aggressive ramp. Cross smokes come in. AGB gonna try to find a spam, but Supa's already rotated down to the B site. Looks like we're gonna have an A execute coming in from Locally Hated. Jez is prepping this back site molly. Zera's gonna throw the top hut molly. Utilities coming in, dropping down the ladder is Locally Hated, going out hut. Execute is on. Next is a little bit late. Relt finds one onto Jezza. Saber gets the trade. AGB picks up 2 in the site hold. And Luca picks up the final frag onto Ethex, putting GuangdongTigers on match point. Very rough buy coming out from Locally Hated. As you can see, 3 Galils, 1 Mac-10, and Jezza left with 2,900. Gonna opt for the Galil in full armor. Supa looking to take that op into big garage. He's been very mobile all across the map. We saw last round he was in mini. As soon as those smokes came in, he dropped down vent. Wow, what a flick from Supa on Ethex. That smoke break. Looking for more, but AGB is able to pick one. Cool Games gets a kill on Alec. Now AGB gonna drop that molly and rotate down to vent. AGB goes ahead and drops that smoke. Zera and Jezza are now making their way into big garage, looking for any remaining members of GuangdongTigers. Supa with that op is rotated up towards heaven, is now going to peek out yard, spots both, able to pick up one onto Jezza, now looking for his 3rd in the round, but just gets it with the deagle, and GuangdongTigers pull off the win, 13-7.